what's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to WWE NXT UK Review, the show from August 7th, 2019. They were at, where were they at again? They were at Plymouth, England. Your commentators were Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness. Nigel McGuinness is back, and yeah. Now, before we get to the show itself, I want to talk about what was the opening show of NXT UK, and the opening show was a tribute to the legendary Harley Race, who unfortunately, recently passed away. He is a former 8-time reigning NWA World Champion back in the days of the territories of NWA. Due to say NWA is still around. Basically, what we say to run it by Billy Corgan. But back in the old days, Harley Race was NWA Pro Wrestling. Along with other guys like a Ric Flair, a Dusty Rhodes, etc., etc. But Harley Race was one of those guys, one of the greatest wrestlers to ever lace up a pair of boots, to ever step into the square circle. And when you see Harley Race, you know that he was a trailblazer as a old school professional wrestler, tough guy in the ring, tough guy outside the ring, just another respective pro wrestler in this industry. Fortunately, he passed away from cancer. It was which was announced about by Ric Flair months ago when I first heard that he had cancer, and just a horrendous loss. But it is what it is, I guess. But you see guys like a Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, Triple H that praises Harley Race. John Cena talked about Harley Race too on this video package. I forgot who else was talking about him too as well. We also have Ric Flair also in the package as well. Among others, I was talking about how great a guy Harley Race was, and yeah. So Harley Race, he'll be deeply missed. He's up there along with Dusty Rhodes, having another wrestling match for the original NWA World Championship. So all I can say is rest in peace to the late great legendary wrestler in Harley Race. May he rest in peace, and my prayers, my condolences goes out to the family of Harley Races. So now let's move on to what happened on the show. We get Norman Dar versus Aston Smith. I was gonna say Ace Austin from Impact Wrestling. No, it's Norman Dar versus Aston Smith. Match itself, it was pretty decent. These guys were they drove out together in the match. In the end, it was Norman Dar getting the win with I forgot what he's called it when it pertains to the Nova. But basically, it's a Shining Wizard in a way. Excuse me. But Norman Dar wins the match. After the match, Norman Dar gets interviewed by Ramsey, and he says that he could have jumped to any brand that he wanted to after leaving 205 Live, because he felt like he wasn't he was being treated like a superstar there, and he decided to go to NXT UK because they offer him a fat contract, which is big bucks. And he promises that he will be at TakeOver Cardiff. And as far as who he's going to wrestle against, well, I think it was I can't remember if it was on this show. It was already announced, but if it is, we'll get that later though. We see a footage of Tyler Bate being interviewed where it pertains to Trent 7 not being medically clear, but Tyler Bate is medically clear. And he says that the Imperium had put her on his friends, but He promised that he's 100%, and he said he'll become the first ever two-time NXT UK champion by beating Walter, and we're gonna see how that turns out when we get to take over Cardiff. Then we get to the NXT UK Tag Team Champions, the grizzled young veterans in Zach Gibson and James Drake. They come out. They come, Jack Gibson gets on the microphone. He says that he does his trademark, his traditional introduction. He calls himself, Liverpool's favorite son. He calls out Gallus for what pertains to gain the opportunity of the tag titles. He says that they've been defending, the championship against the best tag teams in the world, and Gallus is not one of them. And this brings out Gallus, which is Mark Coffey and Wolfgang. And Mark Coffey screams that they'll be taking the tag belts at Takeover Cardiff. And then also we get Mark Andrews and the return of Flash Morgan Webster, which returns to Flash Morgan Webster. I didn't know he was even injured. I heard he was I heard on the show that he was injured, which is why he has been show up on NXT UK. Unless I wasn't paying attention that much about about the condition or anything about what's going on with Flash Morgan Webster. But I digress. But the point is, he's back. At the same time, I didn't know he left. Well, I guess I. But anyways, Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster are back as a tag team. Andrews says he admits that Gallus and the Grizzly Young Veterans are the best two tag teams in the world, but that in Cardiff is their hometown, which Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster is Cardiff is their hometown, which is in Wales, by the way. Is it Wales? I can't remember if it was on that, but anyways, but they should be involved in this discussion and everything. And then Jack Gibson says, "What makes you think that you deserve you two deserves a tag team title shot and everything, right?" Gallus even agrees with Jack Gibson too. And then Flash Morgan Webster jumps in and starts talking about how he's been staying on the sidelines for far too long, and he's just talking about that they want to be part of this and everything. And then Zach Gibson tries to defuse it by saying, "We are not dressed right now to go," basically making an excuse of why they, which is true because they were in suits, obviously. They wasn't on schedule to wrestle anyways, but they kept going back. They kept talking about. Well, actually, Jack Gibson talks about how they can argue about this and everything all day and all that, but the general manager, James Saint, makes the matches and everything, and there you go. So and that's how that ends, and we'll get to that part momentarily. It's a flashback about what happened with Takeover Blackpool, with several NXT UK stars being part of that, and now they're showing that like a Rhea Ripley and a few others that they want to be part of NXT Takeover Cardiff. I'm pretty sure they will be a part of it, but I doubt that they'll be in the match though. So, we'll see. We go backstage and we see Ramsey interviewing Travis Banks. He came out of John Saint's office and everything. Said that he's upset that he didn't win he's upset that he missed the opportunity to be part of Takeover Cardiff. Blackpool. He's upset that he missed Takeover Blackpool. We don't know why, because of the whole Jordan Devlin feud. But he says, he wants to be part of Takeover Cardiff. There you go. And all of a sudden, he says, Noam Dar, and basically, Noam Dar is going to be the one he's going to be facing at Takeover Cardiff. And all he has to do now is to, basically he told Giant State that he wants Noam Dar to face him at Takeover Cardiff, and he says it's not guaranteed, but he's going to work on it though. So we're good. Obviously, we're probably going to see that happen anyway. So we'll see how that turns out. And by the way, during when Travis Banks was being interviewed, that's when Andrew and Webster walked into the office of a Saint, while basically in the middle of his interview and everything. And then when he left, also Andrews and Webster came out, and then they were being interviewed by Ramsey, and basically the general manager granted them their wish. That's only if they can prove themselves in the next few weeks. So they better be winning matches in the next few weeks. Otherwise, they're done. They're not gonna be part of it. But by the looks of it, I think they are. I think they are going to. So we'll see. All right, we get Ginny and Jazzy. Excuse me. We get Ginny and Jazzy Gabber versus Sarah Brookside and Piper Niven. Match itself was pretty decent. A good women's tag team match. And all of a sudden, Rhea Ripley comes out of nowhere, and she was being a distraction. This ticks off Piper Niven because Rhea Ripley was going to look like she was going to attack Sarah Brookside. So they end up fighting, Rhea Ripley and Piper Niven. So basically, Sarah Brookside was on her own in this match. And when Sarah Brookside realized that her partner wasn't there, and the referee is asking her, do you still want to continue? And she's like, yes, I want to continue and all that. But backfire in a way because Sarah Brookside ends up losing anyways after Jazzy Gabber gets her with the Dominator and gets the win. So Jazzy Gabber and Ginny wins the match. Now, if Piper would never been distracted and left to fight along with Rhea Ripley out of the arena, would they have won the match? And who would have been taking the pinfall here? Would it have been Ginny or would it have been Jazzy? I don't know. I just don't know. Or in a way, would Ginny and Jazzy would still would have won, with their slick tactics like they did last time. But I digress. But the point is, Jazzy and Ginny won the match, though. There you go. We get more continuing the story between the NXT UK Women's Champion Toni Storm and Kaylee Ray, because of what pertains to their match at TakeOver Cardiff. That's gonna be coming up. A video package to begin from what happened last week and it continued this week, where the two have faced all over the world from different promotions like a Progress and ICW. Storm says that she has fight like her life depends on it, because it does. And then Kaylee Ray responds by saying there is nothing Storm can do that to stop her becoming the NXT UK Women's Champion. And I think this match is going to be worth watching, folks, when it pertains to Toni Storm and Kaylee Ray, especially how they've been wrestling outside of WWE. I think it's worth watching, especially when it pertains to a takeover show like TakeOver Cardiff for NXT UK. I'm looking forward to this match, folks. It's gonna be a pretty rough match to watch, because well, I won't say a pretty rough match. I mean, what I meant to say, it's gonna be a pretty intense match. I meant to say, that's what I meant to say. Not pretty rough match, pretty intense. Oh yeah, Dragunov was being interviewed in the dark, and Cassius Ohno, an asshole, walks in and said, "Hey, why the lights are off and everything?" And then he basically interrupts the interview, and then Dragunov was not happy, so Cassius Ohno leaves, and then this led to where it pertains to they're gonna have a match next week, Dragunov versus Cassius Ohno. That's been announced for next week on NXT UK, and I can't wait to see how that turns out. Maybe Cassius Ohno can help me convince me to get behind someone like a Dragunov, because Dragunov has not been doing a good job of me getting behind this guy. I mean, he's got a good look and everything. I can see I can see the talent in him. I can see what he's all about. But in the ring, he's got to back it up for me. I mean, the way he kind of backed it up for me a little bit, but at the same time, it's that finishing move. That finishing move it doesn't have any impact in it whatsoever. Maybe because of his opponents is not doing it in the right way, but at the same time, it doesn't have the full speed impact that that Dragunov is doing, But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see how Cash Ono can figure this guy out. Oh yeah, also, Fast Mark Webster will take on Mark Coffey, excuse me, possibly for a future tag team title shot. But I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. So why it's not a tag team match then? Why isn't it Wolfgang and Mark Coffey versus Fast Mark Webster and Mark Andrews? Why has to be a one-on-one match to just get a tag team title shot? I don't know. All right, main event time, which it's been built up for on the show, which is Joe Coffey versus Dave Mastiff. All I can say about this match is that, folks, this match was hard hitting. These guys were basically was testing each other's strength and all that. And at one point there was a turnbuckle off. I was taken off by the second turnbuckle because all the guys are brutes and with their brute strength and everything. Dave Mastiff ends up tasting it, but then he started feeling the effects of being hurt. Joe Coffey later on ends up getting hurt too with a headbutt, which busted his ear open. And basically both of them was taking each other to the limit here. Basically, it was nothing but a Fast and Fury type of well, I won't say it was too fast or fast in a way, but it was still in the way a Fury type of way that they was having this match. So they end up fighting outside the ring, and they collide to each other from basically where it's into the ring post. And then the referee starts counting, and it ended by a double count now. Joe Coffey getting hooked up, and then Dave Mastiff is yelling at Joe Coffey. Let's finish this and everything, right? We got the rest of the Gauntlet coming out, Mark Coffey and Wolfgang, to come to the aid of Joe Coffey, and they were backing off Joe Coffey because Joe Coffey wanted to go too. They were screaming at each other and everything. They want to continue the fight and everything. I'm assuming this it's going to lead to the match at Takeover Cardiff. But yeah, that was a damn good match. But unfortunately, it ended by double count out. So whatever. And that was your WWE NXT UK review. The show from August 7th, 2019. So, talking about wrestling was 4 matches. No, actually, 3 matches. Yes, that's right, 3 matches. And my overall rating for the show, I'm going to go 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 is a good rating for this show. I thought it was a good show. And that being said, thank you all for watching. For It's Natural Born Driller, saying peace on the streets. Well, this was your WWE NXT UK review. And until next time, folks, take care.